All right, I went just 2-3 with a push in my 6 personal sports bets on my website yesterday. Crappy sports betting day on my birthday. Always nice to be losing hundreds of dollars on sports while you're sucking down lobsters in Manhattans with the wife. Absolute clown show continues over at Brock Page Productions. But before I go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to the video here today for Sunday, September 11th, 2022. My name is Brock Page, and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. Actually been doing that since 2016. I also sell my personal sports bets on patreon.com/BrockPage. And to be honest with you, right now, I'm not very good at it. But if you want to see which one of these free picks on this video that I'm actually betting on personally, there's only one way to find out, and that's to sign up for a membership on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, as far as all the NFL games are concerned here today, if you want to see which NFL games I'm actually betting on personally as well, I'll actually include a link to my NFL tier package bets in the description section below. Now, I did actually finish last season 8-3 in my final 11 bets in that package. Finished off the year very strong, very lucrative. But anyway, we're talking about baseball in this video, so let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to take a look at the Nats taking on the Phils, 1:05 p.m. East. Now, Philadelphia is the massive $3 favorite at home, totals 8 runs. Aaron Nola for the Titans, Anibal Sanchez for Washington. Now, Annie's just 2-5 on the year with an ERA in the mid-4s. Meanwhile, as a team, the Nats dropped 4 out of their last 5, and they've been little threat hitting the long ball all season long. They're in the bottom 5 in the bigs and homers per 9. They have to face Aaron Nola here today for Philadelphia, and he's been pretty tough to hit against all season long. Nola's got 200 strikeouts on the year, along with a .97 whip. Now, this Philly lineup has also done a real nice job generating runs. They're in the top 5 in scoring, and they're led by Kyle Schwarber, who's first in the majors in home runs with 37. He's first in the National League in home runs with 37 of them. Now, when it comes to the total, 7 out of Philly's last 10 meetings with Washington got over the number. So if you're into historical trends, you may want to think about that one there. We always try to throw out different kind of quirky trends and stats here on Brock Page Productions. You know, sometimes we're very straightforward with the numbers, but try to give you something maybe a little bit different than the other guys. Now, the Nats on the other side, they are 63% to the over in their divisional road games. I'm going to lean toward Philadelphia -1.5, over 8. Next ball game, Red Sox, Orioles, 1:05 East. Baltimore's -1.25, totals 8.5. Kyle Bradish for Baltimore, Rich Hill for Boston. Now, Hill comes into today's ball game with an ERA close to 5. The Bo Sox have also been terrible in the divisional play. They won just 8 out of 31 contests against the AL East on the road. They're also facing Kyle Bradish from Baltimore, who's averaging just about a strikeout an inning. He's got 87 Ks in 90 innings of work. The O's have also done a real nice job at Camden Yards this season. These guys are 41-29 in front of their own fans. Anthony Santander leads the franchise with 27 homers and 79 RBI. When it comes to the total, Boston saw their last 2 Rich Hill starts get over the number. As a matter of fact, they went 6-2 to the over in their last 8 in that very same category. I'm going to lean toward Baltimore -1.25, over 8.5. Next ball game, little AL East action. I'm talking about the Rays taking on the Yankees, 1:35 East. The New York Yankees are -120, totals 8.5. Domingo Germán for New York, Luis Patino for Tampa Bay. And out of just 18 2/3 innings of work with Tampa Bay this year, Patino hasn't been great. He's got an ERA in the 4s along with a 1.61 whip. The Rays have also struggled in divisional play on the road. These guys are just 12-17 straight up against the AL East while traveling. Now they're taking on Domingo Germán for New York, who has a 3.27 ERA and a 1.15 whip. Now, the Yankees are also still doing a terrific job hitting for power. They're first in the majors in homers, and of course, they're led by Aaron Judge, who has a league-best 55 home runs. Now, Judge also leads the majors in RBI and OPS. And when it comes to the total, Dom Herman went 6-3 to the under in his last 9 starts. Meanwhile, the Rays are 35-28 to the under against the AL East. I'm going to lean toward the Yankees -120, under 8.5. Next ball game, Cards, Pirates, 135 East. St. Louis is -210, totals 8 runs. Jose Quintana for the Cards, Mitch Keller for Pittsburgh. Now, Keller's had a bad year for the Buccos. He's got double-digit losses and a 1.45 whip. When it comes to hitting the baseball, the Pirates, they do have a team batting average of just .222, which is second to last in the majors. Now, Pittsburgh's facing Jose Quintana, who has a .338 ERA thus far for the Redbirds. Meanwhile, as a team, the Cardinals got the W in 7 out of their last 10. They've been pounding the NL Central this year. These guys are 39-21 in divisional competition. Paul Goldschmidt's also in the top 3 in the majors in batting average, home runs, RBI, and OPS. Now, when it comes to the total, St. Louis went 60% to the over in their last 10 outings. They're also averaging nearly 6.5 runs a game in their last 10 contests against Pittsburgh. I'm going to go ahead and lean towards St. Louis -1.5, over 8 runs. Next ball game, it is going to be Mets taking on the Marlins, 1:40 p.m. East. The New York Mets are -145, total 7.5. Taijuan Walker for New York, Jesus Luzardo for Miami. And even though Luzardo's performed well, the Marlins just don't want to win for him. He comes into today's ball game with a 3-6 record on this season. Now, this Marlins lineup is also one of the worst in the National League, of course, with regard to hitting. They're in the bottom 5 in the bigs in OPS, and they're averaging under 3.7 runs a game for the entire year. Now, they also have to face Taijuan Walker here today, who's got double-digit wins on the year, along with a .360 ERA. Now, as a team, the Mets did get the W in 3 out of their last 4, and they've certainly had their way with the division. They're 23-12 against the NL East on the road. And, of course, Pete Alonso, he's currently 4th in the big leagues right now in RBI with 108 of them. Now, total-wise, New York held the Marlins to just 3 runs a game in their last 10 meetings. They also saw 3 out of their last 4 Taijuan Walker starts fall under the line. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the Mets, -145, under 7.5. Next ball game, a little NL Central action. I'm talking about the Reds at the Brewers, 2:10 p.m. East. Milwaukee's -280, totals 8 runs. Brandon Woodruff for Milwaukee, Justin Dunn for Cincinnati. Now, the Reds did win 3 out of their last 4 ball games, and they average over 6 runs a game in those victories. Kyle Farmer's leading the franchise in batting average and runs batted in. The Reds have also cashed in on the run line in 3 out of their last 5 road games. Now, they're taking on a Brewer club on the other side of things who's actually, they've struggled covering the number themselves. These guys are just 41% against the number, against the NL Central this year. So once again, when I refer to the number, I'm referring to the run line, the 1.5. Now, hitting-wise, the Brewers have had their issues at the plate as well. These guys are striking out more times a game than most clubs in the National League. When it comes to the total, 3 out of Milwaukee's last 4 at home fell under the total. Meanwhile, Cincinnati went 60% to the under in their last 10. I'm going to lean toward the Reds, +1.5, under 8. Next matchup, little AL West action. I'm talking about the Angels at the Astros. That's going to be a 2:10 Eastern first pitch. Now, Houston's the $2.50 favorite at home, totals 8 runs. Luis Garcia for the Stros, Tucker Davidson for Los Angeles. And out of just 19 innings with the Angels this year, Davidson already has an ERA of 5.21. Now, hitting-wise, LA's collectively been terrible at the plate. They're hitting just .228 as a team. And they're also fanning more times a game than any other lineup in Major League Baseball. Now they also have to face Luis Garcia on the bump on the other side, who has 11 wins on the year and 139 strikeouts. And even if Garcia ends up struggling a little bit here today, this is an Astros lineup who always makes contact with the baseball. They are currently in the top 3 in the league in fewest strikeouts per 9 at the plate. Yordan Alvarez, he's in the top 3 in the majors right now in OPS at the dish. And of course, Kyle Tucker, he is leading the franchise right now in RBI with 88. Now, when it comes to the scoring, Houston saw their last 5 at Minute Maid Park fall under the number. They're also holding the Angels to just 3.1 runs a game in their last 10 head-to-head meetings. I'm going to lean toward Houston -1.5 and the under 8 runs in that tight window. Next matchup, little AL Central action. I'm talking about the Tigers taking on the Royals, 2:10 Eastern start time. I'll tell you what, if you're betting on this game, you are a madman or woman. But anyway, this is the Gutter Bowl here. Anyway, Kansas City is -160 at Kauffman Stadium. That's a 2:10 Eastern start time, if I didn't mention that. And we're talking about the Tigers and the Royals. But anyway, once again, Kansas City's -160, totals 8 runs. Brady Singer for Kansas City, Tyler Alexander for Detroit. Now, the Tigers are, believe it or not, on a 3-game winning streak, and they scored 23 total runs during that time frame. Javi Baez is leading the team in RBI with 55 of them. Meanwhile, Heimer Candelario is leading the squad in homers with 13. Now, they're facing a Royals club who lost 7 out of their last 10 themselves. And they have a tough time hitting for power. The Royals are currently in the bottom 5 in homers, bottom 10 in runs per game. When it comes to the total, the Tigers are 20-15 to the under against the AL Central at home. Meanwhile, Detroit's 62% to the under in their divisional road games. I'm going to lean toward the Tigers, +1.5, keeping this one close, under 8 runs. Next ball game, Guardians Twins, 2:10 p.m. East. Cleveland's -165 on the road, total 7.5 runs. Shane Bieber for the Guardians, Josh Winder for Minnesota. And even though Winder hasn't been awful, but this Minnesota pitching staff, as a whole, they have been susceptible to giving up the long ball. These guys are in the bottom 10 in the league in homers allowed. The Twins have also played some really bad baseball over the past couple of weeks. They lost 8 out of their last 10 ball games. Now they're facing Shane Bieber here today on the mound, who's got 171 strikeouts for Cleveland and an ERA in the 2s. And no real surprise here, guys. Bieber's also got a decisive 1.06 whip. Now as a team, the Guardians did win 4 out of their last 5 ball games, and they averaged just about 6 runs a game in those victories. Jose Ramirez, he's second in the bigs in RBI with 109 of them. Meanwhile, Andres Jimenez, he's hitting a club best 300 at the dish. Now, total-wise, 3 out of Cleveland's last 5 on the road got over the number. Meanwhile, Minnesota went 7-3 to the over in their last 10 at any location. I'm going to lean toward Cleveland, -165, over 7. Next matchup, Blue Jays, Rangers, 235 East. Toronto's -115, totals 7.5 runs. Trevor Richards for Toronto, Martin Perez for Texas. And as good as Perez has been this year, it's probably not going to help out Texas getting the W, because these guys are on a 3-game skid, and they went just 1-12 straight up since August 26. This is a franchise that is in shambles right now. They're taking on a Toronto team on the other side who's really hitting their stride right now themselves. These guys got the W in 8 out of their last 9. And they rank in the top 3 in the league in team batting average. Now, Alejandro Kirk, he's hitting just about 300 at the dish. Not quite there, very close. He's hitting just about 300. Meanwhile, Bo Bichette, he has a team best 84 runs batted in. When it comes to the number, the Jays have averaged nearly 7 runs a game in their last 10 meetings with Texas. Meanwhile, the Rangers went 11-2 to the over in their last 13 Martin Perez starts. I'm going to lean toward the Blue Jays minus a $1.15, over 7.5. Next ball game, Diamondbacks, Rockies, 3:10 p.m. East. Arizona's minus 175, totals 10.5. Zach Gallen for Arizona, Ryan Feltner for Colorado. And even though Feltz has had some forgettable outings, he's still averaging nearly a strikeout an inning. Now, he's got 65 strikeouts in just over 72 innings of work. And when it comes to offensive production, the Rockies are scoring more runs a game at home than any other club in baseball. C.J. Cron's fifth in the bigs in RBI with 95. Meanwhile, Jose Iglesias, his .300 batting average is the best qualifying batting average in the lineup. Now, they're taking on a D-backs team on the other side who's on a 4-game skid, and they allowed nearly 30 total runs during that short span. Now, the D-backs have also had a tough time with divisional opponents. These guys got the W in only 8 out of 28 divisional road games. Now, total-wise, Arizona went 10-6 to the over in their last 16 Zach Gallen starts. They also saw 3 out of their last 5 road games get over the line. I'm going to lean toward the Rockies plus 1.5, over 10.5. Next ball game, it is going to be White Sox at the Athletics, 4:07 East. Chicago's minus 165 on the road, total 7.5 runs. Johnny Cueto for the White Sox, Cole Irvin for Oakland. And I'll tell you what, even though they don't win much for Irvin, the A's, Irvin's given the A's their best chance to win. He's been throwing pretty well this year. He's got a 3.78 ERA and a 1.12 whip. The lefties also struck out 108 batters. Now, Oakland's also cashed in on the run line in 6 out of Irvin's last 10 starts. They're taking on a White Sox team who's had a tough time covering the 1.5 themselves. These guys are just 45% against the number for the entire season. When it comes to hitting the baseball, the Sox have had a tough time hitting for power. They're in the top 10 in the bigs in home runs per contest. Now, when it comes to the numbers, 7 out of Chicago's last 10 meetings with Oakland did fall under the total. So if you're into historical trends, you certainly want to think about that one there. Now, they're also 60% to the under in their last 10 ball games this season. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward Oakland plus 1.5, under 7.5. I'm sure that will be a popular lean. If you guys disagree with that one, let me know in the comments section below, because I'm sure a lot of you will. Anyway, next matchup, Dodgers-Padres. NL West action, 4:10 p.m. East. The Dodgers are the $1.30 favorite, totals 8 runs. Andrew Heaney for the Dodgers, Joe Musgrove for the Padres. And as solid as Musgrove's been, the Padres just don't want to hit against Los Angeles. They're averaging less than 3.2 runs a game in their last 10 meetings with the Dodgers. They've also had a tough time manufacturing runs at Petco. These guys are in the bottom 10 in home scoring. They're taking on Andrew Heaney, who's got a 2.94 ERA and a 1.08 whip. And when it comes to offensive production, the Dodgers are scoring more runs a game than any other lineup in baseball. Freddie Freeman's hitting a league-best 330 at the dish. Meanwhile, Trey Turner is 6th in the bigs in RBI with 94. When it comes to the total, LA's 69% to the under in their divisional road games. Meanwhile, San Diego's 38-30 to the under at Petco Park this year. Give me the Dodgers minus 130, under 8. Next ball game, little interleague contest here. I'm talking about the Braves squaring off against the Mariners, 4:10 p.m. East. Atlanta's minus a $1.25, totals 8.5. Jake Odorizzi for Atlanta, Marco Gonzalez for Seattle. Now, Marco's managed to lose 13 games on the season and has a whip of 1.35. Now, the Mariners have also struggled in their interleague contests at home. They actually lost 4 out of their last 7 home games against the National League. Now, Seattle's biggest problem this year has been with the bats. They're in the bottom 5 in the league in team batting average, and they're scoring fewer runs per contest than most clubs in the American League. Now, they're taking on a Braves team who won 8 out of their last 9 themselves, and they've done a pretty nice job against the American League. The Braves are actually 13-6 in their interleague contests, in their last 19 interleague contests. And they're one of the best offensive clubs in baseball. Now, Atlanta's in the top 3 in scoring, and they're leading the National League in homers. Now, Matt Olson, he has 91 runs batted in on the season. That's a team best. Of course, Austin Riley, he's 3rd in the majors right now in home runs with 35 of them. Now, total-wise, Seattle saw 4 out of their last 7 interleague home games fall under the number. They also went 7-3 to the under in their last 10 outings. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward Atlanta minus $1.25 and the under 8.5. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. It is going to be Giants taking on the Cubs, 8:08 Eastern start time. Now, both clubs are minus $1.10. No total posted as of yet. I'm not sure whether that's with regard in direct response to the injury report or just the wind, because as you baseball bettors know, that wind in at Wrigley is crazy. It could be blowing outward, inward, left, right, and it blows hard. So I'm not sure if it's the injury report or the wind. So I apologize. My bad. I'll have to do a better job. But anyway, Wade Miley starting for Chicago, John Brebbia for San Francisco. Now, the Giants did lose 5 out of their last 6 ball games, and they averaged only 2.2 runs a game in those losses. San Francisco, they've also struggled in their road games this year. They have a .414 win percentage when they travel. Now, they're facing a Cubbies team who does a nice job of hitting at Wrigley. They're also in the top 10 in home walks per game. Ian Happ's the team leader in RBI with 65 of them. Meanwhile, Patrick Wisdom, his 22 homers are a team best. I'm going to lean toward the Cubs minus $1.10, getting the job done for some money line cash. And with that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Give me Philadelphia minus 1.5 over 8. I like Baltimore minus $1.25 over 8.5. Yankees minus 120 under 8.5 runs. St. Louis minus 1.5 over 8. And if you want to see which one of these free picks on this video that I'm actually betting on personally, there's only one way to do that, and that's to sign up for a membership on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. I like the Mets minus 145 under 7.5. Give me Cincinnati plus 1.5 under 8. Houston minus 1.5 under 8 runs. Detroit Tigers plus 1.5 under 8. Cleveland Guardians minus 165 over 7. Toronto minus $1.15 over 7.5. Colorado plus 1.5 over 10.5. Oakland plus 1.5 under 7.5 runs. Dodgers minus 130 under 8. Atlanta Braves minus $1.25 under 8.5. And with my next and final free pick for the video, I'm going to lean toward the Cubs minus $1.10, getting the job done for some money line cash. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my website. If you guys do end up getting a package here today, just keep in mind you're going to get billed the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you do get a membership here today, you're going to get access to that package every single day, all the way until October 1st. I always tell folks in every single video, the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. And guys, if you want to get access to every single bet, every single package, every single day, you're going to want to sign up for my board member package. It's an all-inclusive membership. Now, like I said, guys, yesterday was my birthday. And actually, believe it or not, tomorrow is my wife's birthday. Our son's birthday is at the end of August, so we have 3 Virgos living under one roof. So not a lot of confrontation, not a lot of arguing. But when it does come out once a year or once every 2 years, it's a big blow-up. But it doesn't happen much. You got 3 Virgos under one roof. So the wife's birthday is tomorrow. I'm a little bit older than her, but you know, not crazy. I'm not like a pedophile. I'm 6 years older than her. But anyway, so happy birthday to her. We're going out to dinner for the second day in a row. We went on our private date last night. We did dinner and a movie. We saw Bullet Train. Great flick. Really dark humor. But excellent, man. Brad Pitt was phenomenal in that. And Joey King, she's phenomenal. Man, what a great actress. She was great. So saw that. Now, while we were watching the movie, the lady directly to my right, she ate a bag of popcorn for an hour straight, kernel by kernel, just crunching in my ear. I almost lost it. I was going absolutely irate. She ate a bag of popcorn for 1 hour straight, crunching it one popcorn piece at a time. Get a freaking handful and shove it in there so it's not as loud. Man, it drove me nuts. But anyway, good flick, good movie. Then we went out to dinner, and of course, I had a steak, 2 lobster tails, scallops. I'm a big fat ass. You guys already know that. I like to put it down. So we got the job done there. I'll probably post a picture of me and the wife on the date here on YouTube. But anyway, guys, that's what happened yesterday. It was a great day. I tell you what, the place we went to, they make really good. I'm not a big drinker, but I like a great cocktail. And man, they make really good Manhattans. I had a couple of those and was feeling great, man. Like, not in terms of drunkenness, just like, wow, this is a really good drink. And they use actual real cherries in it. It was a good night. Had a really good birthday yesterday. But anyway, we're going to do it again today because now the mother-in-law is taking us out for her birthday today. So we're going to get fat again today. I'm going to be streaming the football games on my phone, have it underneath the table while we're eating, because we're going to hibachi today. So I tell you, that's what we do. People ask, what hobbies? What do you and your wife do? You guys camp? You do outdoors? You hike? You fish? I'm like, nah, we just eat, man. We eat. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. Got to thank you for joining me right here. And like I said before, guys, I don't do it much, but every once in a while, I like to peel back the curtain a little bit and just show you a little bit of like who I am and what I do. I'm an actual human. I know I grind every day, work every day, and peel off all these crazy numbers and stats to you. But I am a human being. So, but anyway, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy Sunday to you. Happy NFL to you, man. Great day. It's going to be a great day of sports. Happy NFL Week 1 Sunday to you. And I do look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/Brock Page.